Yo, good morning. Good morning. It's what? I just looked at the clock. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Uh Time is no relevance. Time is just a thing. I say that to say, welcome to Disruptive Minds. My name is Jerome A. Carter. The A stand for always learning. So, being that it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, just my brain was just wandering and wandering and wandering. So if I don't teach you nothing else about how your mind works, is that when it starts rolling and wandering like that, you need to get up. You need to either get up, write something down, get up and make video. You need to get up and figure out why is your brain running at 100 miles an hour. A lot of people stay awake in bed and toss and turn and all this other shit. It's a waste of time. You have to get out of bed. You have to figure out why your mind is racing. Now, for me, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's not bad. Because being empathic, what is empathic? Empathic is more being aware of your emotions, being aware of other people's emotions. So more than likely, at this time in the morning, most people are asleep. So that gives people like me or others like me who our energy levels actually go up when others are asleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like it gives us more energy. Like you got people who got more energy at night. You may call them nocturnal or different like that, but it's really not that. It's just that that point, energy is just different. By there being less people awake, the energy levels are lower. So yours is going to be naturally up higher. I say that to say, today I was just thinking about the words wisdom, knowledge, and education. And I looked up the definitions prior to making this video, but I'm going to use my interpretation of what the definitions are. So wisdom to me is innately knowing something. You're going to automatically know certain things that other people don't know, or maybe other people do know, but you're going to innately know it. What does that mean? That means that you're already going to know how to do certain things, how to talk to certain people, how to function in certain environments. You're innately going to know
After
that. That comes from...
feet, turn left onto West Pine Street.
Sorry about that. GPS going off. You're going to innately know... You're going to innately know how to do certain things. That's wisdom. Knowledge is when you personally are searching for more... you're personally searching for something. How can I say this? You're personally searching for more awareness. How about that? You're personally searching for more awareness about a particular subject. Like me, I love psychology. I love how the mind works. But I don't necessarily want to go to school for it because I don't want to be put inside that box of learning things I really don't care about. I'm more about looking for exactly what I want to learn about and dive deep into that. I don't want to learn about all the philosophies and all those, because those things are not relevant to me. Like, and I wanted to study about Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, but they studied at, Socrates studied at Alexandria. So I looked up what Alexandria is versus learning about those three. And that's where education comes in. Education is the formal learning. And I didn't want to waste my time with the formal learning of all this nonsense. It's not helping me in my everyday travels. Or not helping others in their everyday travels so I can relay that to people. See what I'm saying? So what I choose to do is I choose to particularly look up certain things that are going to help me, which will help others, to understand how this thing works. And when I say things, I say how your mind works. Because your mind is separate from your brain. It's two different things. Also, by me doing my own personal knowledge, I also do my own personal experiments. And that's where I get the Pope principles from. The Pope principles are personally observe, personally experience. So that means exactly what it sounds like. Personally observe, personal experience. There are a lot of people who on these nets, on these streets, internet streets, who talk about something that they never done. or they read about something they've never done, and that destroys that credibility. It's like you haven't done it, so how can you tell me? Like, people who talk about cooking something, they never done it, or people who talk about kids, they don't have any, and there's many different layers to this. So what I developed is what I call the Pope principles: personally observed, personal experience, which means I personally observed it or personally experienced it, and that's why I share it with you. I personally went through this process, the process of learning a lot about how the mind works and why people feel stuck, why people feel depressed, why people feel like they can't achieve certain things, why people just the why factor. Don't you ever wonder about the why factor? I wondered about it a lot. Because what do you tell a person who did everything right and still catching L's? They did everything right. They went to school, they in trouble, college, got married, house, kids, all that. They did everything you're supposed to do, but they still keep catching L's. Why is that? And people be like, well, just pray more. Well, that's just the way it is. It's so much more than that. But most people don't understand it, and that's the reason why they give you that BS advice. And that's all it is. It's just BS advice, because they don't understand how it works. But once you go through the process and you understand how it works, you can tell some person, you know what? That's not you. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not where you're supposed to be. Well, that's what I did. Don't want to hear that. It's not where you're supposed to be. This is the person you're not supposed to be with. This is the place you're not supposed to be at. This is the job you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be there. That's why things are not working for you. You're following somebody else's plan. Once I stopped following somebody else's plan, I feel a lot better. Hell of a lot better. And that's what I developed this channel for that simple concept. But the majority of people are going to be able to digest that. And I understand. 80% of y'all, you're not going to be able to take it. So you keep following your plan. 20%, I got you. Y'all going to at least understand why you're in the situation you're in. But there's only going to be 10% of that 20% that's actually going to do something about it. Let me say that again. There's only the 10% of the 20% who's actually going to do something about it. And that's why, people always talk about the 1%ers and this, that, and the other, and why are the 1%ers there? It's because they're executing on a much higher level because they understand how this thing works. And they're continuously executing on a much higher level. But that's a small percentage of this population. Very small. Of the population of the globe. Very small percentage. And I hope you will be part of that percentage with me. That very small percentage. So that's the gist of this channel. It's going to be a lot more going on. A lot more thoughts. A lot more ways of communicating, a lot more ways of figuring this thing out, because it's really not that complex. Don't make it harder than what it is. That's something else that we've been taught. It's so hard, it's complicated. No, it's not. It really isn't. But by us saying that, our mind, it makes us feel better about why we're stuck where we are. And I refuse to accept that.